Hi, everybody. Bear with me one moment. There we go. Okay. Apologies for the coffee mustache, among other things. Let's see. There we go. Can we all hear me? Yes, I think we can. How's it going? It's been a while. It's 4:15 Eastern Standard Time. Just haven't been around for a little while. Been working a lot. Thought that I would just hop on for a little while and do some shit. And hopefully you guys want to hang out. Chat's open, links are open. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing, what you're into, what you're up to. And I'm just going to jump over and start doing some stuff. So we got a bench full of shit, right? And Discord likes to log me out all of the time. I don't understand why. 1 second, please. No. There we go. And now I need my Authy thinger. I like two-factor authentication. Oh, that's because it's not the right thing. There it is. All right. So now I'm logged into Discord. Got my phone. Got my tools. Got my stuff. How's that? That's a little better. Okay, cool. So, yeah. I thought that what I would do right this very second. So I took a minute and I cleaned my motorcycle because I'm gonna go for a ride tomorrow. But the bags are kind of trash, so I gotta reach. Yeah, so the bags are a little bit jank. Never liked these bags in the first place. They're PVC, they're not leather, and well, they just weren't made very well. They're cheap, both monetarily and construction, and I've never been that impressed with them. So I'm just kind of dealing with what I've got. So it's kind of, I don't know if you guys can tell by looking or not, but you can see, oh, here we go, yeah. The D-rings, all the metalwork on this was supposed to be stainless steel, and it isn't. It's just, it rusted. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do my best to kind of clean it up. I went to the store and I got some tools for some appliances for my Dremel, some bits, and I'm going to try those and see how we get along, see if they work, to kind of clean up some of this rusty metal work. Coffee and chocolate goes, as the name implies. We've got some 72% Ghirardelli chocolate we're going to be breaking into, and we got some Tim Hortons Finest in the K9 mug, rocking it out, doing the thing. Found that one of the greatest things out of it is that I can have coffee, but no sugar. And so that enabled me to have coffee and maintain my keto status. So we've got two different kinds of bits here. I don't know where that one went already. I lost one. Oh, it's in the bag. Okay. And we've got our Dremel. So I'm going to start with the least aggressive, which in this be the brass. Hey, how's it going? Also, I have to switch collets on my Dremel because I have a set of collets, although I might have put it somewhere else. Nope, okay. That's not it. That's not it. Maybe it's this big one. That's gotta be it. It's either that one or it's this one. I think it's that big one. Okay. Oh, I'm glad to hear. And thank you for the resub, by the way. I know that I have been sort of absent. Work has just been an experience. You're not always prepared for the fact that when you start making, like if you're streaming life, and I'm sorry I'm not looking at you while I'm talking to you. I'm just trying to get my shit organized here. Here we go. If your stream life is that you, and then your work life becomes making stuff, you find that when you make stuff all day and you come home, you don't want to make stuff anymore. And that's kind of what happened. So I was kind of struggling for ideas, like, because I would come home and be like, I don't want to make anything. I just was making stuff all day. I don't want to make more stuff. And plus my toys at work are kind of cooler and better than what I have here. So, although that's, someone tweeted something that equates to 2020. That's true. That's true. I think a lot of people have changed up stuff. Like 2019 was supposed to be the year of change, and then everybody changed everything, and now everything's different and we have to get used to it. So, yeah. So I was saying earlier, I'm not happy with these bags for my motorcycle. All of the hardware rusted. And so now I'm just taking some time. Oh yeah. And my little brass wheel here. And I'm going to clean the rust off of these D-rings. And then I'm going to see if I have some enamel or lacquer, some clear lacquer that I can use. To kind of protect them. Once I get all the crap off of them. Clean it up, yeah. So these bags were very inexpensive, and they're both very inexpensive and very cheap. And so I'm kind of learning my lesson now. But also, I mean, it's not that I didn't know that they were not of great quality when I bought them. But also, you know, when you have a budget, you have to operate within that budget. Yeah, no, I don't think that these were misleading. Although the conceit that this is supposed to be stainless steel hardware, yeah, no, clearly. Like literally the first day that these got anywhere near any kind of moisture, they rusted. So all right, so this is, all right, this is not ideal. And the reason is because this tool is like spitting out brass shavings into my eyeballs. So I have to use it on kind of a different plane here so that it doesn't do that. All right. That's good for that one. Yeah, I'm doing well. We're just kind of hunkered down in the house for the most part. I'm cleaning up my bags because the club and I are going for a little bit of a sanity ride tomorrow. Nothing crazy, just a little bit of a cheeky spin through the country for like a couple of hours. Just to kind of get out of the house for a little while for like a sanity check, you know. And we're going to be social distancing and doing all the things, doing all that stuff. But, you know, you can social distance on a motorcycle. That's kind of one of the better advantages of motorcycles is that you can be with friends, but you're still apart from them. Yep, sanity. And, you know, being here in DC, a lot of the guys in the club are like government folks, so they have a little bit more insider knowledge of the current situation. You know, and it's like, well, if they don't have a problem with taking us, you know, with like doing a ride, nobody has raised any red flags about it. So I feel a little bit bolstered by that, you know. So yeah, chocolate. Let's take a moment and have some chocolate. So today's chocolate is, I showed it off a little earlier, 72% Ghirardelli, or Ghirardelli, depending on how you like your animated chocolate. Good stuff. I have a lot of little odds and ends on the table here. I'm trying to just sort of make sure that stuff doesn't get all moved around where it doesn't belong. As good a job as I can do at keeping this table clean, it just always gets cluttered, you know? Yes. One of my favorite snacks is Safeway has this bag of mixed nuts that is cashews and almonds and pecans. And it's just amazing. All right, I'm gonna put my coffee up here so that brass filaments don't get in there. So the other thing I'm doing here is I'm kind of taking these little strap heads apart and cleaning them up. Like these two I've already done. Those two need to get done. So yeah, one of our guys at the shop, I've mentioned before that we have a lot of work release guys, and one of them made a big mistake and got removed from the work release program. And he was the guy, he was kind of like, I'm the guy that prints the sign, well, I was the guy who printed the signs, and he's the guy who put the signs together, like put all the hardware on them, if there was a relief that goes on them, that kind of thing. So him being gone made a big, basically like added an entire another person's job to my job. Which for now is okay, because like we're very not busy at the shop, and having the extra responsibility is fine, because it means that I can fill my time up. But if we get busier, it's not a sustainable solution to have me doing both. So I don't know exactly how we're going to mitigate that. All right, I'm going to put the other thing in here and see if it suffers a little bit less fall apart. Like, this is after a couple minutes use, chat. This is the one that I've been using, and this is the new one. Do you see how much fuller this new one is than this one? This is like 5 minutes of use, and like that's how many of the little brass bristles have come out. These things are trash. I'm going to switch over to the steel version. All right. Oh, yeah, the D-ring's on. Oh, God. I don't even know if it's worth doing anything to these because, like, I don't use them for anything, so, and they're kind of hidden. The ones that I've been, the other ones on the top, like you see those, but these are like behind everything. And that might be one of the reasons why they're so bad, but. Like this one looks like it was on the Titanic. I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't know about you, but knowing that they hadn't been brassed would... Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Like here, you can see how bad that is. That's like, it looks like they came off the Titanic. So, I'm just gonna kind of hit them with the Dremel, knock the rust off. I have this stuff that, it's like a polish and a wax all in one, and it's specifically meant to like help with rust, but it's really only good for like small, light areas of rust. It's not awesome for this kind of situation, so I want to knock the rust. Yeah, that's right. Helping my sanity. Freckled Fiberworks, thank you so much for the host. How have you been? I saw you were streaming earlier today. I popped in for a moment and was lurking. Thank you very much. How did your stream go? I always like to see you stream, but I don't always, I'm not always super active in your chat. You have a really good vibe to your streams. I'm happy to see you too. Thank you for stopping by. And thank you for the host. We are just taking a moment to kind of clean up the saddlebags on my motorcycle. And get ready. I'm going on a short little scoot tomorrow with my club brothers. And so I just kind of want to dress the bike up a little bit. I washed it earlier, so it's, the bike itself is nice and clean. And now I'm just kind of addressing some of the little, these were inexpensive, I love effing birds. They are really, really good. But so yeah, I'm just taking some time and cleaning off the metalwork on these bags so that they don't look so shabby on the motorcycle. And I'm gonna do the D-rings on this one. I think a lot of the worst of this corrosion was because earlier this year we took a ride, like it was right after a snowstorm. Like we had like a little squall, and we took a ride like the day or 2 days after, and the roads were just still gross with salt, and also very slippery. It was like back in February, or maybe even January. And it was not a great idea. We ended up calling a ride very, very early and just going to lunch and then being done because we were just sliding around everywhere. And I got home and like my bike was just full of road salt, just caked in it. And so I'm finding a lot of stuff now, a lot of little areas where like it caused some corrosion and did some stuff. So taking a little bit of time and sort of mitigating that. Okay, so we're pretty good. Well, I'm gonna do a little more on this side here. And part of me is like, well, I'm trying to buy a new bike this year, right? Like I almost bought a new bike a few weeks ago. But it just wasn't the right bike. But I'm like, part of me is like, well, if I buy a new bike, do I really need to be doing all of this? And then I think, well, if I don't do all of this, like, it's not just buying a new bike, I also have to sell my current bike. And I may or may not want to keep these bags if I get a new bike. Depends on the bike. And if I don't keep the bags, they're going to go with my current bike as it gets sold. And I don't want to give somebody some rusty ass old bags. Coffee break. Okay. Now, pardon me while I get the secret sauce. So this stuff, if ever you have rusty metal that you want to clean up, this is the stuff. It's called Quick Glow. It's made in Louisiana. They have several different grades of it, but I've used this on my motorcycle in areas like on the headlight shroud that were kind of rusty, and it just takes that right off. Adds to the, yeah, exactly. If your bike is shined and polished and clean, it will be worth more. But this stuff, as a, I'm not sponsored by these guys at all, but this is like, you know how you see those infomercials of products and they never ever work the way that they're supposed to? They always like, you know, it's always like, oh, this stuff removes stains, or this stuff seals up the bottoms of your boat, right? Like, it's like those products just never ever work the way that they claim. However, this stuff absolutely works. It's always a shot to get it. Exactly. However, this stuff, first off, these guys don't advertise. They're not like an infomercial product. They're kind of like a best kept secret, if anything. And this stuff works like crazy. It takes rust off, and it will protect the like it's a wax and a polish in one step. So it cleans, it takes away rust, and then it protects from water ingress, all in one step. And so what I'm doing is just sort of polishing these D-rings with this stuff, because the other option that I would have is to spray them with like a lacquer or paint them with like nail polish. Neither of those is very appealing to me. This is either, is this Matthew Sweet or Elvis Costello, or who is this? Oh, Sebadoh. Okay. Interesting. So anyways, yes, I highly recommend if you are, if you have metal that needs to be cleaned and the rust removed, as long as it's not like really scaly rust, if it's just surface rust, it'll come right off. Even, and you can see, like, look at my gross ass paper towel, and that's after I've already Dremeled and got rid of all the rust. This is what it took off even after that. So it's very high quality. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one back together again. I'm just using the hardware that I already had. Another reason I didn't like these bags, or that I don't like these bags, like pretty much all saddlebags are going to come with this kind of clip, right? Where it's got the fast detach thing here, but also like a traditional kind of buckle. But my last bags, this half of it was like attached to the bag, so that you could with one hand just reach down and clip it in. But these ones are not. These ones are free to kind of float around and flop. And like, if you have to, the reason that's important is because if I get on the bike and I go to ride and I get halfway down the street and I'm like, ah, crap, I forgot to close my bag. No, like, then if these things are static, if they don't move, that means I can just reach back behind me and do that bag up at a stoplight. But because they're not like that, it requires 2 hands and you have to be off the bike to do it. And it's just trash. It's just not great. And yes, I realize that I should have done this while that hardware was apart, but nobody ever accused me of being very smart or efficient. Now this stuff says on the container that it is not for painted surfaces, so I'd imagine that there's some kind of acid in here. But it's one of these, like, it's a secret sauce, like it's a grandpa's secret recipe kind of thing that they don't want you to know about, so. And I'm okay with that. Because the problem is, like, the problem with a lot of these made in USA products, the reason that they all die out is because somebody in China finds out, or Pakistan or wherever finds out that how this stuff is made, and then it gets made for like 1/3 the cost because raw materials are way cheaper in China and in other countries. So like if, for instance, like your thing is made of ferric chloride, it's hard to get ferric chloride in the United States, but it's really easy to get it in other countries. Chocolate brie. Mm-hmm. So here's a good example, right? I'm gonna try and clean this up using just this polish, and you can see how kind of crusty that is. We're going to get a clean section of paper towel here. And you can see what it looks like now. There's still some pitting there, but it's not going to get rid of the pitting. But it did clean up all of the rust. And that's just rubbing, that's like that's not aggressive at all. It's just paste. So for a comparison, right? This is one that I haven't done, and this is one that I have done. So you can kind of see, and they're about equally, like this one, they were both about equally funky before I started. So yeah, I really, really love this stuff. Somewhat related, I always appreciated having a good backpack when I was in college. It wouldn't flop all over the place if I forgot to zip it up. Exactly. I like having backup. stuff. I like having like, oh, in case I forget to do the zipper, there's something else that's going to keep my books inside of, or keep my stuff inside of my bag. These bags, I will say, in the credit category, one of the few things that I really like about them is that they have an overlap. The lids overlap significantly the case. So like, even if I don't, I did have an umbrella turn inside. Oh, that's not good. That's like one of those Three Stooges kind of moments. Or Charlie Chaplin even. Like these bags, they have a lip over the top flap so that even if the straps are not done, it takes a lot to have them flip open and have something come out of them. That said, I have lost stuff out of those things where I forgot to latch it in the past, so. One of the greatest things I've ever bought in my life was a Totes golf umbrella. I think I got it at Macy's. Or if I didn't get it at Macy's, you can get them at Macy's. Fairy Wings, thank you for the host. Wow, I'm just getting all the hosties today. How's it going, Fairy Wings? I enjoyed your stream. Oh my goodness, Fairy! Look at that sub. Look at that sub. That's 8 months in a row. Holy balls. I think everybody here knows Fairy Wings already. But if you don't, go check out Fairy Wings. She's the impetus for me learning how to do chainmail. She's an incredibly talented artist. She's a wonderful person, a great friend. Right now she's doing a kick-ass job in her Animal Crossing island. She's looking fierce. Her island is strong. Her house is fantastic. She's got butt trees all over the place. It's wild. It's really wild. Doing the wash. Oh well. Look, my jeans are fucked as hell right now. They are so funky. I need desperately to do the wash because I have to work tomorrow. Or no, not tomorrow. Monday. But I also have to go to the. I have to go on his ride tomorrow. Yeah, but what else are they besides butt trees? I have to put the compound on these. We were just talking about luggage. Okay, fine. Peaches. Whatever. You can have your peaches. I am cleaning up my saddlebags because I'm going on a ride tomorrow. I washed my bike earlier, and I noticed that my saddlebags are a little worse for wear. The material itself is PVC, so it's not leather. I'm not worried about that. But these D-rings were super gross. So I Dremeled the rust off, and now I'm applying this paste that is a cleaner, a sealer, and a wax and a polish all in one. And it's amazing. But anyway, I was saying to Freckled Fiberwork that one of the greatest things I ever bought, and it was a fantastic buy, it was like 20 bucks, I think, was a golf umbrella, a Totes golf umbrella that I bought from Macy's. And the reason why it's so awesome is because it's got like every bell and whistle that you can think of in an umbrella. Most notably that it has the anti-inversion thing. And what that is, if you don't if you've never seen that, is it's got like a little, I got that paste all over everything, didn't I? So like it's got your normal sort of canopy for the umbrella, but then it's got like another canopy on top that kind of overlaps. So like the top canopy is here and then the bottom canopy is here. So the rain will just drip down, but if the wind catches it from underneath, that top canopy pops up. So it won't, the umbrella won't invert, which I think is pretty cool. But this one specifically, it's got like a carbon fiber handle, and it's humongous. Like it's got like a 4-foot radius or a 4-foot diameter to it. So you get all of your personal space. And it's got like a really, really nice ergonomic handle, like a rubber ergonomic handle that even after, I've had this thing for 12 years now. So the umbrella rule doesn't even apply anymore. Like the whole, like the umbrella paradox doesn't even apply anymore. I've had the thing for so long, and the rubber on the handle hasn't fallen apart. It's still in great shape. Everything is just super awesome on that. Okay, so that's cleaned up. Those things are done. Yeah, they're really cool. I like them. All right, take a moment for some coffee. And then I think, speaking of, I'm going to switch gears a little bit. I want to put this stuff, put my Dremel away, which will only take a moment. So there's a new version of OBS for Mac. Finally, Streamlabs OBS came out for Mac. And I have to say, I tried it, and it's got potential. However, there is no, there was an integration, there's like a critical integration that it doesn't have that is a deal breaker for me. And I forget what it is right this moment. But also, like, so the themes, it's like, say, I use Stream Elements for my overlay, for my widgets, for my alerts, and it works really well. And it's and their overlay editor is great. It works really well, but I think the bot is not great, or there's something like, there's just some weirdness that I would cool if it did. What was I gonna say? Oh, and so I tried, like, you know, Streamlabs OBS is supposed to support all that stuff natively. So it allows you to view chat and your stream and all in the same sort of thing. And that seemed really, really cool. But it just, in practice, there was like a couple of things that it didn't do that I really wanted for it to do. If that stuff gets integrated, cool. If not, whatever. The other thing that really bugged me about it was that pretty much everything is a paid feature. And like, so even if the even if the software is free, and it is, all of the themes and stuff are paid, or they're premium or prime features, and that is a huge bummer to me. So that was kind of sucky. We're going to switch over. We're going to switch gears a little bit. And I'm going to... Here we go. There. Let's come down even closer. There we go. How's that? So what we have here is about a little less than an inch of Turkish round in... I'm not quite sure what size this is, so we're going to find that out. You make and host it locally. That way, if they go down, as soon as they do, I'm still fine. Oh yeah. Well, I do that too, currently. The thought of the integration, like I designed all the graphics, right? And it's all of the overlay stuff that you see is in a scene in OBS. And it worked the same way in Streamlabs OBS. But there was a way to integrate the alerts into one system. And that was really, really attractive, but it just doesn't work quite properly in Streamlabs OBS. So, you know, whatever. Oh, and the other thing is the ability to instant or it's a function of Prime. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of rings here. Oh, sorry about that. Here, that should be better. Mic died. Is it better now? What I was saying was that the ability to rename the bot is a paid feature, or is a function of Prime. Okay, so what I'd like to do is I would like to, I'm sure that that's none of those. So I have this Turkish round that I started, and I really like it in this size, but I don't know what size this is. I think it's the same size as my Hoodoo Hex piece, and that is a bummer if it's true, because if it's true, then I kind of had plans to do other things with those rings. So let's find out. I'm going to use a 5/32 ring. And we're going to see if this is the same size. I don't think it is. Also, I haven't done this in probably 3 months, so my shit is going to be super jank. So I haven't picked up pliers. I haven't picked up ring pliers in 3 months. Actually, those are 5/32. Because if I compare that to these, which are the 9/64, Yep, those are smaller. Okay, good. Although they're smaller than these are too. Nope, those are the same size. Okay, cool. All right, so these and these are the same. These are 9/64ths. And that is 5/32. Cool. That means that I can continue on with my Turkish round here. Word? Oh, that's because that's not the closer. And also, even though I said earlier that Fairy Wings was the impetus behind me learning how to do this, I don't want you to think that my shitty technique is a result of